It was really an audacious plan executed by Ukraine, hitting targets almost 4,000 kilometers inside Russia and destroying almost 30% of their strategic bombers. ऑडेसिटी इसलिए मैं कह रहा हूं क्योंकि अगर वो प्लान एक्सपोज हो जाता पहले ही, एग्जीक्यूट होने से पहले, तो दोज यूक्रेनियंस स्टेइंग इन रशिया जो कि उस प्लान को अंजाम देने की कोशिश कर रहे थे, रिकनेसेंस कर रहे थे, दे वुड हैव बीन अरेस्टेड एंड टॉर्चर्ड बाय पुतिन एंड ही वुड हैव मेड एन एग्जांपल आउट ऑफ देम. सो इट वाज एन ऑडेशियस प्लान दैट वे. नाउ एनीवेज, this deep successful strike highlights a point in modern warfare, that drones are no longer support tools. They are the frontline warriors. Now, even in this ongoing war, जो 3 साल से चल रही है यूक्रेन और रशिया में, उसमें जेट फाइटर्स बहुत रेयरली यूज किए गए, प्राइमरीली बिकॉज कि एंटी एयरक्राफ्ट डिफेंस सिस्टम वेपन्स जो हैं उनकी बहुत हाई डेंसिटी है फ्रंट लाइन पे, एंड नोबडी वुड लाइक टू रिस्क लूजिंग एयरक्राफ्ट्स एंड द ट्रेन पायलट्स अलॉन्ग विद दैट. तो बोथ रशिया एंड यूक्रेन आर employing drones extensively and missiles. And so new set of rules are emerging out of this through this warfare. इवन इंडिया पाकिस्तान का जो स्कर्मिश हुआ था रिसेंटली, उसमें भी दोनों देशों के जेट एयरक्राफ्ट्स ने बॉर्डर क्रॉस नहीं किया. वो अपने ही साइड के बॉर्डर में, वहां से उन्होंने बियॉन्ड द विजुअल रेंज मिसाइल्स फायर करी, एयर टू सरफेस, एंड दैट हैड हिट द टारगेट्स. एंड बोथ द कंट्रीज यूज ड्रोन्स एक्सटेंसिवली. सो इट प्रूव्स अ पॉइंट दैट drones are no longer support tools. They are the frontline warriors. Now, many people are talking about, is this the end of jets? Why should one spend billions of dollars in purchasing rifles when the same role can be performed by the drones, which are so cheap? Some of them are costing barely $500, and that's why Ukraine is producing almost 4 million drones this year. So what is going to be the future battlefield like? Some talk about mosaic warfare concept, and another one is that emergence of drones, can it revive blitzkrieg? It's not something new that is happening in front of us. It has happened in past also. Technology has always shaped the battlefields and the nature of warfare. Let's take the example of tanks. The tank was designed due to the stalemate in World War I, as the trench warfare did not allow forces to advance. Now the tank was designed to overrun those defenses so that the infantry could mop up and occupy the positions. Boot is still important. Boot has to be there on the ground to claim that it's been won. The first tank was used in 1916 at the Battle of Somme. Now thereafter कोई ज़्यादा डेवलपमेंट टैंक पे हुआ नहीं उसके एम्प्लॉयमेंट पे, टिल जर्मन्स इन्वेंटेड ब्लिट्जक्रीग लाइटनिंग अटैक, और उसने टैंक्स की ऑफेंसिव कैपेबिलिटीज को इस्तेमाल किया. क्या? मोबिलिटी, फायर पावर एंड प्रोटेक्शन, एंड दे यूज्ड इट इफेक्टिवली. All they did was they created panzer divisions, which were basically an all-arms offensive force comprising of tanks, motorized and tracked infantry, self-propelled artillery, motorized air defense units. They attacked on a narrow front, created a breach in enemy defenses, and advanced rapidly to the enemy's rear, thus unsettling them and making the defensive positions untenable. So they integrated air power, infantry, tanks, artillery, and coordinated the move of employment of all these forces through effective radio communication. Now today we have drones. आज हमारे पास drones हैं जो कि highly mobile हैं, have very effective firepower, very accurate firepower, can move stealthily into enemy's area and operate in highly defended areas and can bring down very accurate fire. Although right now the drones are being employed in isolation, carrying out only special missions or targeting enemy installations or ambushes, none have employed them in conjunction with the ground forces during an offensive operation. Ukraine Navy, it has employed drones very effectively. Rather, it has made it difficult for the Russian forces to advance. But nobody has employed drones in conjunction with the ground offensive operations forces. So even tanks find it difficult today to operate because of the high density of anti-tank weapons, ranging from anti-tank mines, anti-tank guns, anti-tank missiles, anti-tank obstacles. जो हमारे बॉर्डर्स पे भी इंडिया पाकिस्तान ने दोनों ने कैनाल्स और डिच कम बंस बनाई हैं, एंटी टैंक ऑब्स्टिकल्स. बेसिक पर्पस इज टू सेपरेट इन्फेंट्री फ्रॉम आर्मर. So imagine if this whole force, integrated force comprising of drones, tanks, infantry, self-propelled artillery, jets and missiles are employed together as an integrated force, it would create the same shock as the Blitzkrieg created. The drones of different types can play the same roles as the tanks play on ground. Now, it wouldn't be an understatement if some of these drones, or we call them as unmanned aerial combat vehicles, be called as aerial tanks. These drones can swarm the whole battlefield, bringing down fire from air on enemies' defenses on canal, targeting their gun positions, targeting their headquarters simultaneously. And this will allow infantry to assault the enemy's defenses or the bunkers on the canal embankment, create a breach, gain a foothold, and then allow the ground-based tanks to break out, and also the aerial tanks to fan out in depth. It will not be surprising if some army employs these drones in this manner, along with the ground offensive forces. So, we need to think twice before spending money in creating 40 to 45 jet squadrons to deal with the two-front scenario war, and instead focus on creating an integrated force like the Germans thought of in World War II, the famous Panzer divisions. If we also are able to integrate these drones and create an a force like this, offensive force like this, perhaps Lahore and Rahim Yar Khan can be seriously threatened, and we force Pakistan to give up its proxy war once and for all, because it can only give up this proxy war, when we have threatened something strategically very important to them. Thank you. Jai Hind.